Hello, lovely.
We're back for part 2.
Yes.
So I am excited. Part 1 was so much fun and really got me thinking about all the amazing things that Purpose with Pamela and the team, you included in that team, you're a big part of that team, what we actually accomplish and get done in a day.
Yeah.
In a year. It's amazing.
Right.
So I'm glad you said we should do it again. So take it away.
Well, first of all, I can't let too much go by without saying happy birthday, my friend. This is your birthday month, but your birthday just happened to be yesterday. We are recording on Monday. Your birthday was Sunday, so happy birthday to you, my beautiful friend. And how fitting is it that we're highlighting you this month on your platforms? So it kind of worked out perfectly. So let's see. Last week, if you did not get part 1 of this show, make sure you go back and watch part 1, because we covered a whole lot of what's going on with Dr. Pamela and her team, and as well as her partnering with my husband and I's company, DNP Enterprises. So we're doing a whole lot together this year, and we're very excited about it. But today we're going to start off talking about all of the books we have coming up this month, which is craziness.
It is.
So let's talk about what we're launching Friday.
Woohoo! Go ahead. I'll follow your lead. There's so many things. My head is full.
I understand. So it's actually right behind you. We actually published it quite a few months ago, but we never actually did an official launch. So I'm so excited. It's a fantastic workbook, and we had so much fun putting it together. And we never actually had time to launch it because we were so busy. So we're going to do an official launch on Friday and go live on Pamela's social media, on Facebook and YouTube. And so tell everybody just a little bit, of course, just a little bit about the workbook and, your reason for that book.
Well, the first thing I would like to give credit to where credit is due, and that is
Yes.
My mentor, my friend, my bishop, Mr. Les Brown, was so kind to create the foreword for me for this workbook, which means a lot still. Right. Because he doesn't put his name just on anything. Yeah. He puts his name on projects and people that he believes in. And so for him to say yes was, very touching. And when we first put together Purpose by Design, the workbook, Nicole, had so many Google files, documents, all stuff. And as I work with clients, right, I'm like, okay, looking for these things, pulling them up, printing them off, asking you to email them, saying, could you razzle dazzle this one and make it look pretty? Because I had just these rough drafts of everything. And when I didn't need you to send something out, I still was looking for it. And some things had been gathered together nicely, and others were in different places because maybe I used them for coaching, but maybe I also used it for speaking, or maybe it was also part of a book. So it wasn't necessarily in one place because it had not been created for that yet. It was here, 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 here. And that was a little bit frustrating to me as a coach and a leader because I wanted things together, quick access for my people. So went to town and created, with your help, this amazing workbook, which, as it states, is Purpose by Design. And so we take the time to go through the curriculum that I take my clients through. And so it started as a book that just was to my clients, and they just received that book as part of being within my community and allowing me the privilege to coach them. And they still get that book for that. And also in the new subscription that's out, that's an automatic, they get it. But when we went down and did Fa La La, which was our women's event in Las Vegas, Fa La La Las Vegas, I had a handful of those ladies say, how do I get my hand on that book? You know, because I would talk about it. I taught out of it. And I went, wow, you know, they're so right. There might be someone out there, there is someone out there that may never get the opportunity to coach with me in person, but through this book, just like I learned from so many others who I maybe didn't work with in person, but I worked with them personally through their workbooks, changed my life and helped me create this. So we said, maybe we should, you know, take a look at it, make any adjustments we want to, and then actually do the launch that we didn't do, right? So I'm excited about that. I do have people reaching out saying, when is that book coming out? And it actually has been out, y'all, so you can go get it, but we are going to do a live launch on it. And so chapter 1 is called Emergence, not emergency, emergence, like to emerge into your calling, to emerge into your purpose. And then it's split into 5 parts. So it's a lengthy chapter split into lessons, if you can put it that way, where you are getting the nuts and bolts about emerging into your call. Chapter 2 is your vision. The scripture says to write your vision and make it plain so the readers can run with it. And the most important reader that needs to run with our vision is ourselves. Right. If we can't read it and run with it, then who else is going to follow us? Apostle Paul said, follow me as I follow after God, as I follow after Christ, right? So we need to be able to say the same thing. So that's chapter 2. And it has 3 parts, including a vision board party, which you know how much I love those. Chapter 3 is creating a plan to reach your dreams. So now we have done the emergence, we have created the vision, and now it's time to create the plan. And now I always say, date the plan, don't marry it. You know, you marry that vision, but you date the plan, because plans they change and they adjust. But I show you how to use goal achieving steps to create a plan, but then also how to bend and weave in it. And then chapter 4 is called Start. It's as simple as that. But the start is often what can stop us, right? So we take time to say, okay, you've done all this wonderful work. Now, chop, let's get going. And how do I actually implement everything that I've learned throughout this entire book, which is like, well, it's only 4 chapters. Yes, but there's lots of lessons because every chapter is split into parts or lessons. So it's a pretty thorough curriculum. You're not going to go through it without being challenged and changed and emerging into your calling. So I'm really excited about that. And then we end it with some legacy journaling pages that are just journaling pages so that you can be taking notes throughout the entire curriculum, but also you can continue to journal your legacy. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I'm super excited about it. There's other things in the back of the book of ways that you can connect with myself and my team. And it's going to be awesome to actually do the launch on it with no one. Let's see, who is that again? No, I'm kidding. With the one and only renowned Pastor Donato and Lady Nicole. So that's going to be Friday. This Friday.
I'm so excited. Yeah, it's so funny because as you went through all those chapters, you know, I helped you put the workbook together, so I've read it all. But it's this last year, I feel like we've lived it all.
Oh gosh,
and we just really have. And so I'm excited for everybody else to get their hands on that book.
Yes.
So the next book that we're going to launch, it's funny because you don't know the order that we're launching the books because it kind of depends on what I get done first.
Right.
So the next one that we're going to launch, and I'm not sure if you still have it behind you or not, it was your first book, and we're doing a 2.0 of it. And if you don't have it, I do. Oh, you do have it back there. So we're going to redo the whole cover. But the first book you ever launched was your Captivated book. Look at that picture. You look so different.
That picture is one of my favorites, though, because I call that the lashes picture.
Oh my gosh, yes, you and your lashes. But that was that was a heart project for you. It was not just it was I wouldn't say a struggle, but yes, it was. It was a pull out of yourself project. I think that's the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah.
And I know it took a while to put that together, but it was your first book and the first thing to really launch you out to where you are now. But we've revamped it a little bit. You've added to it. So if you have the first one, you want the second one because there's more in it. But we're going to be relaunching that one second. So for those who don't know what the first book's about, just give us a little snapshot of what that book's about. And I mean, it talks about a certain part of your life.
Yeah, it does. And Captivated is a powerful word to me because in this time in my life where the original text comes out of a back injury that I went through. Now, in the second edition, I elaborate on a couple of the other struggles and things that I have gone through because we all go through them, right? Yep. And then I add some, really mind-provoking, thought-provoking questions for you to ask yourself, and then some places to journal your answers. But Captivated means learning to live as an audience of one, and one is capitalized. It's all capitalized because we can live. So what happened, and I'll just say this real briefly, put it this way. I was in a chair, literally. I couldn't walk. Right. And I spent months in that chair. And my mentor, the late Papa Joe Jordan, had contacted me, and he was still with me here in the earth at that time. Yeah. And, he had a great healing ministry. And I kept saying to him, Papa Joe, why am I stuck in this chair? Why can't I get out of this chair? Mm-hmm. And I thought there's going to be heaven and earth shaking prayer, and the walls in the house will vibrate, and I will raise up, Didn't happen. I'm out of the chair, but it didn't happen at that time and in that way. And Papa Joe said to me, Pamela, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Ouch. And then he said, you're going to have to walk this one out by faith. And I said, are you saying that I'm not walking it out by faith, by expecting God to move? And he said, what I'm saying to you is you cannot expect God to move the way you think he should. Right? So I was a little angry in that conversation. Honestly, it wasn't my walls weren't vibrating and heaven and earth wasn't shaking. I sort of got off that phone, that mentoring session, kind of sunk in a little bit, Yeah. But I took it to the Lord, and this is a very much a faith-based book. And this is what I heard within me. Pamela, you can be captive to the back injury, or you can be captivated by me. And so I knew that meant that there was a lesson to be learned as I was going through this, and that if I would learn the lesson, that I'd probably be better faster, but that I would be able to share the lesson with others. And so we go through life and we can be captive to our problems, our challenges, our situations, or we can be captivated and we can see the pot of gold. We can see the silver lining. We can learn the lessons and walk into the next best part of our life victorious. And so that's Captivated.
I love it. Well, and I remember we were having a conversation one time while that was going on, and somewhere in all of that came the fact that, just because we think, oh, well, especially in faith circles, like, well, you should be able to pray and be just great. Well, God doesn't always say yes when you want him to say yes. And sometimes, you came to the revelation that you were stuck in that chair because God wanted a little one-on-one time with you. He didn't put you there.
Right.
He didn't keep you there for that reason, but because you were there, he was able to be with you one-on-one because you didn't have the distractions that you do every other day because you really couldn't. So he was able to take advantage of that time. So, sometimes, we struggle. Everybody struggles with things. And nope, things don't get better right away, which we expect. We fast food mentality that we live in. We want it now. And that's not how everything works. And sometimes you have to push through something to get to the other side, regardless of what it is, because you've got to learn something when you're going through it so you can take it to somebody else.
So true.
Yeah, you got to take your experiences because somebody else is going to go through something like that.
Sure says that the promises of God are yes.
Yes, right.
Amen. But the yes is uniquely packaged.
Yes, and comes in his timing.
And it's a unique package. And yes, you cannot expect God's yes to look the way you think it should.
Absolutely.
It's better. So don't get down about that.
Oh, yeah.
It's better.
Yes.
But than what you think it should. But yeah, when Joe said that to me, like, you're going to have to, you can't expect God to answer you the way you want him to.
Right.
And then on the heels of that came the Captivated message. So yeah, God's yes is always there, but it is uniquely packaged for each individual's experience and journey. Yeah, totally.
So the next book, and you know a little bit about the book because you wrote the foreword for it. It actually was written by my husband.
Yes.
So it is called Becoming the New You. And he has had a book. He's got quite a few books in him. We talked about this last week, that you have been that pushing force behind him to get it done. He has ideas, a million of them, but just getting it done is a struggle. So he's doing his own book. So I'm excited about it. I know you're writing the foreword for it. So I know you know something about it. I don't know if you can just give us a little bit about it, and then we'll talk about our last one that we're doing.
Well, this one is also a real strongly faith-based book because your husband's pastor.
Yes.
So he's bringing the pastoral eyes into, or the faith eyes, but through a pastor, right? Yeah. Into the community of goal setting and goal achieving and having that purpose by design that I always talk about. Yeah. So he is going to first lead you to God, because God is the source of your purpose by design, right? Of the calling on your life. And then from there, he's going to begin to build you out with the tools that you need and the faith that is required to really manifest your dreams and goals beautifully. I mean, he takes you through, from soup to nuts again. I mean, just gives you the whole meal deal there, supersized. It's powerful, but always, again, as a pastor, he has that shepherding heart. So he's looking at everything through an eternal lens, like what's God doing in this moment, right? And so he's always first looking at the spiritual aspect or the spiritual health to your dreams and goals, and then adding in all those extra ingredients so that beautiful cake comes out just right at the end when it's all done. Yeah. So it's beautifully written. He speaks from his heart, from his experience, and from his vast knowledge, because he's got a lot of life experience, but he also has a lot of knowledge on things from all the education, from Bible school up through, Les Brown training, being one of my mentees, going through the Bob Proctor program with John Tallarico into the inner circle. I mean, there's a wealth of knowledge within Pastor Donato that is just poured out in this book. So I can't wait for the launch for that. That's going to be so much fun to do that launch, because it's been a long time coming.
Yes, it has. It has. I'm proud of him. I'm glad he's doing it and that we're getting it done. So then there's one more book that we currently have in the queue. There's so many more. So the fourth book that we have is also yours, and it's called Gratitude. Simply Gratitude by Design.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about that one.
Gratitude is connected to happiness. And as many of you know, and if you don't know, we'll just put a plug out there right now. Yes. I really felt directed the end of 2022 to hone in on happiness and teaching people about what real happiness is, because it is not outside. It's an inside job. Yes. And it is a choice. Yes. And in fact, at Yale University, there's a huge class right now that's the most popular class. And it's all surrounded around wellness and, guess what? Happiness. And I took the class. So I'm like, okay, this is an important aspect for people. It's for body, soul, and spirit, mind, will, and emotions to achieve your dreams and goals, to be the next best you. All of this, there is a foundation of happiness, which is a choice. So we put out a class called The Science of Happiness. We have started a subscription, which is Happiness by Design. A big part of happiness is gratitude. It's like the foundation of a house. You know what I mean? Yeah. Gratitude is a big deal. And if you will begin to make it a big deal in your life, it will help you accomplish your dreams and goals. It'll change the way you think. It'll change the way you process things. It'll change the way you see the world. And so with that being said, I went to work in prayer. I went to work in thought and just said, okay, I'm just open to a download here on gratitude. Yeah. And so it's not a real thick book. It's like 7 chapters. And I say 6 or 7 because it has not been uploaded through the hands of Lady Nicole yet. So how that all is formatted out, we will shortly see. But I take you through the beginnings of what is gratitude. How do I operate in gratitude? Mm-hmm. What are the steps of gratitude? What is gratitude going to do for my life? And this book is not so much faith-based, although faith is in it, because sometimes we're choosing gratitude by faith. You know what I'm saying? Right? But choosing gratitude will help your faith. Yeah. And it'll help your love walk, and it is going to help you achieve your dreams and goals. I had a very good friend of mine read the manuscript, and he came back and said, I absolutely need this book because I need to do what this book is telling me to do. I'm like, that's exactly what I am looking for, is a simple read with simple steps that'll create a great harvest in our lives. And so that's Gratitude by Design.
I love it. Well, and gratitude, you know, you have 2 choices. You can be grateful or grumpy.
Right?
You can't. There's no medium, and you can't be both at the same time.
No.
You have to choose which one you want to be. And with gratitude, you do. When you're grateful for things, you're happier. Yeah. If you live in the grumpy side, that's just where you live. You can't be happy and complaining about everything around you.
No.
It just doesn't work. And the more you complain, the more miserable you get. So we live on the side of gratitude. We've learned, and I know that's something you've immersed yourself in over the last few years, and really have taken to heart how that works. Not that you didn't before, but I mean, you've known the importance of that for a long time, but I know you have studied it intensely. And I know just with words, and we've talked about that a lot, about how your words affect, first of all, your life, but it affects your body as well. And the being gratitude part, even when it doesn't look like you should be grateful for much.
Right.
In that moment where there isn't anything and you're just finding that thing that you can be grateful for can get you past it. So I love that you're putting that out, and I think it will be such a treasure trove of information and will help people grow more, which I know is it's just your mission in life, or it is your purpose by design. Plug that. So we are also working with some other people, and we're doing some anthologies. Currently, we're going to be working on a total of 3 or 4. I don't know. There's so many more. But currently you're doing one with Miss Dawn Week, which we love her. Shout out to Miss Dawn. We love you much. She kind of got us on this book journey with the anthologies, and was such a blessing and such I don't know, just a sweet spirit and giving spirit. Totally. In a world where everybody's like, this is mine, you can't do it. Realizes that there's so many books to be written and only one person can do so much.
Right.
So you're working on one with her that's a devotional. And I'm excited about this one, and the fact that we haven't had more sign up for it just blows my mind. I don't understand it, but I feel like though, when it comes down to brass tacks and when it comes down to the devotional itself, the ones that are to be in it and to be writing in it and will have the correct heart to write in it will be the ones that are there. So just talk a little bit about Bosses with Purpose devotion.
I'm so excited about this. And when we started it, I was thinking that the authors were going to just fly in because it's $100, y'all, and you get to have a devotional that is the size of a chapter, which could be up to like 1,800 to 2,000 words if you want it to be that much.
Right.
So normally that's $1,000, and we're giving it for 100 because it is a way that Dawn and myself want to give back. Also a way you want to give back, and also to empower people with a devotional or faith-based encouragement for the entrepreneur, for the business person. So immediately I thought, this is going to fly in. We're going to be launching this in February. But honestly, I just really had an epiphany moment where I'm like, you know what? It's a 60-day journal. And when we have 60 entries, we're going to launch it.
Yeah.
Because when I say I'm not in any hurry, I don't mean that I'm not excited or have great energy and anticipation for its release.
Right.
But we want it to be a blessing, and I don't want to shove it out there until it's ready.
Absolutely.
When it's ready, right? You don't take the cake out of the oven when it's not done.
Right.
And so we're still moving forward with that.
Yep.
And the cost again is $100 for a registration fee and $100 to have an entry.
Yeah.
And so you can give that away as a gift. And so that means if you wanted to have 5 entries, $500, and you have a whole week, or you could buddy up with your spouse or sister or friend and create something really special and unique that you would have, encased in the written word forever. But also the whole point is to create a faith-based success devotional that can be used all over the world. And so with that, the authors that are coming in, they're amazing. They are amazing. And it is so exciting to see who is trickling in. And as I said, I have just been fine with it, and even as I know that our jot form talks about the dates that are in there. And if we need to, we'll adjust them again because I don't have a timetable. I'm really just trusting.
Yeah.
We will have the 60 entries when we have them.
Yep.
And then we will release that devotional and then maybe do another one. We'll see.
Right.
See how it goes. But Dawn and I have had a lot of fun putting it together. It's been great fun to go live. We're going to go live about it again this week.
Yeah.
And as we see the authors trickling in, men and women with incredible stories in the business realm, it's been really a unique experience, and I love it. So if you haven't signed up for Bosses with Purpose to do a devotional, come on, sign up today. We'll make sure you have the link available. It should be in the description. So sign up, jump in, go for it. And if you need help writing that devotional chapter, entry, whatever you want to call it, just reach out to me. We'll take care of you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a great way. I mean, if you want to tip your toe in the author pool, if you just have something on your heart you want to share, it's a great way to do that. And and I'm gonna do it. I don't know what I'm gonna share, but it's there. I just have to make my brain do it. So, but yeah, and because we have the cruise coming up in August with Bosses, so it's gonna flow. And like you say, it's interesting how the ones that are trickling in are so powerful.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see who we end up with in this book. I think it's going to be amazing. So the next author call that we're doing right now is with two guys who actually met up at John Tallarico's event in Atlanta. My husband, of course, is one of them. But Andre noticed they were both in the book, The Greatness in You, with John and Les. And they got to talking at John's event, and which was great. We spent such a great weekend. We had a lot of downtime where we just got to hang out and eat and get to know each other, which was fantastic. I think it was such a laid back event. We learned so much during the event itself, but the downtime, I think, to me was my favorite, because we really just got to get to know people one-on-one. And first of all, it was like the first live event we had been to since COVID. So we got to hug on people that we've only seen this way. And so that was great. But they got to talking and they're like, you know what? All these women are doing all these books. We need to do a guy's book. And took the holiday off, and they chatted about it a little bit during the holidays, but it was like, let's just get through the holidays. And so when they met up, I got to meet with them for the first time, just by myself, and they got to bounce things off of each other. And out of that meeting, they tossed a few names around, but the big core of what they wanted it was so funny, because I think my husband threw out a comment, and it ended up being what we came back to for the title of the book. And the title is Iron Sharpens Iron.
I love that.
I love it. And it's all going to be men. No women in this book, although the women are putting it together. But Dr. Pamela is going to be doing the coaching for the authors, anybody that needs help with writing their chapter and learning a little more about being on stage and all of that. And I'll let her talk about that as well. But their core of this book is they are both businessmen, but they both have very strong faith. And finding that balance is huge.
Yeah, it is.
And you have to be able to do business, but have your faith as a base, or else you're two different people.
True that.
And people see that. People see, like, if they see you out, but then they see you at church.
Yeah.
That's not living. They're not going to trust you.
Right.
And so this book is all about living that life where you can integrate all of that and be that successful businessman, but be that strong man of faith. And so it's going to be, I'm excited for the book myself. We just put the author call out. So men, if you want to join, it's $50 deposit. So get in there. That link will be down there too. But Pamela, what do you have to say about this anthology? What's your take on it?
Well, I love the fact that it's men coming together. I've had the treasure of being the visionary over a couple of different books that have just been women, like the Women of the Power Voice, Women of Power Ignited to Serve. And those have been incredible. And the thing is the women have come together and have been at the forefront of this, right? And telling their stories, but also literally igniting others to serve and chase their dreams.
Right.
I love seeing men come together. So the Women of the Power Voice, those were all women that had gone through Les Brown's Power Voice Academy and Mentorship Program.
Right.
And then Women of Power Ignited to Serve were women, some in ministry, some in business, but that they were felt ignited into their passion and then wanted to share that with others, how to follow after that. And just even with both books, how to take your story to the world and change the world.
Right.
We need some more books that are doing that with men.
Yes.
And so to have two strong leaders like your husband, Pastor Donato, and like Andre, that is incredible to have them at the helm of this, bringing men together at a rallying point. And so I just want to encourage the guys out there, like, come and tell your story. Come and share your expertise and let's get it out to the world. There are people waiting to hear from you. Yes. And so these guys are coming together and saying, whoa, let's go hook up to their engine and go with them and let this become a movement. We kept saying that in the Women of the Power Voice and the Women of Power Ignited to Serve, it's a movement. Right. And they still are movements. They didn't just end when the book ended. It's still happening. They're still moving. There's still a lot of stuff that is going on. Yes. We need that for the men as well, not just the women. So whatever your story is, however you can empower, be iron sharpening iron. Yes. That's a scriptural saying, but that's how iron gets sharpened. Yeah. It gets sharpened by other iron sharpening it. And so wherever you can come in and you can bring that strength and you can bring that sharpening, bring it in to this project and don't delay. We're going to give you all kinds of coaching that you want, that you need. If you don't want it or need it, you don't have to take advantage of it, but it will be there, from how to write a bio to how to write your chapter. We have connections to help you with all of those things if you need assistance. Oh man, we got you covered from the beginning to the end. It's going to be a great experience. We're here to make it fun and enjoyable and to help you succeed. So jump in right away. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and I think it's time for the men to step it up a notch.
Rise.
Yeah, I feel like the women spent the last year really doing that with all of the books that we've worked on. At least they've stepped out of the shadows, really. And now I think the men need to step up and rise to empower other men in the right way. To be those leaders. And I think it's very exciting. So sign up for that book, guys. We need to hear your voices as well.
Absolutely.
The last anthology that we're putting an author call out this week for, I'm so excited. Dr. Pamela, you are your own visionary. You've done several co-visionary projects, but you were doing your own visionary project. And the title of that book is The Next Best You. So tell people a little bit about that project.
Absolutely. And it's actually your next best you. So I wanted you to be thinking about you. Yeah. in the title. And so this is, you could call it a self-help book if you wanted to, but because it is, but I am looking for people that are really experts in this arena and that have a heart like I do to help people achieve their next. Yeah. And the next is capitalized, all letters. How does a person achieve their next best themselves? What do we do? How do we see each other? What is that mindset? What does it look like? What does it feel like?
Mm-hmm.
What is that experience all about? How do we do that? Does it matter where we're at in life, how old we are, how young we are, what we're doing, if we're working, if we're not working?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Right.
And so I'm looking for authors who would be excited to come along and be a part of that journey. And let's turn out an amazing book in the beginning of 2023, pointing people in the direction to be the next best version of themselves in all areas of their life. Somebody might be reading it thinking, I just need to be a better mom. I need to be a better me. I need to be a better business person. Whatever that next is for you, we want to help you achieve it. And I know in my knower, deep down within me, that those authors that want to collaborate for this cause, they are going to ascend to the top. And we are just going to create a incredible book, a barnstorming book that is going to radically change the lives of others. Because this book isn't about your personal story necessarily, although it'll be a part of it. It's about empowering the masses on an individual basis to become their next. So I'm super excited about it.
I am too. I think it'll be an awesome project. And I'm excited to see who ends up in this book. It's always fun to see who shows up.
Yes.
And to see what their perspective is, for that book. There's always different ways people see things.
Right.
And that's what makes anthologies so creative and so fun, is because you do get 20 to 30 people's opinion on that. Right. But it's funny how they all match up and they all flow together, which that's a God thing. It can't be.
It is. As Les Brown says, you can't make this stuff up.
You can't. Another anthology that you're actually doing, but there's no call for authors for this one, that we're actually putting together from a podcast series that you have done and are doing, is Wholeness and Health on Purpose.
Yes.
Done on purpose, and you can find it on Purpose by Design podcast. You can go back and search for those. We've done a Wholeness and Health series on your platform, and we're reaching out to all of those speakers and having them write a chapter and putting together a nice workbook that we can publish to kind of take that message further. And that's something that's very important to you is health. That's something you focus on for yourself. You share with a lot of people. So I wanted to make sure we mentioned that one as well really quickly, so that it just kind of popped in my head. I kind of forgot about that one.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. That book will be out soon. We don't have, and I'm not just saying it'll be out soon. We'll be getting that out, in February, March, because we have finally received all of the chapters in, and the authors are the ones that were on the podcast. And we're just taking their knowledge, which is incredible, because we have doctors, therapists, special experts in nutrition, and gave them the opportunity to take their interview and then craft it into a chapter. So, this is going to be such a rich book, and it's out there. It's going to be out there for everybody. And it's one of those giving back books that we're doing to all of our guests, our podcast community that we're so grateful for, whether that is the guests or that is those that have been viewing or watching us. We're so thankful for you. But also to be able to just give back into the book community, the authors, and just in general to the world. We want to be able, I believe in purpose by design, not default. So we purposefully by design created this book, and it can help a lot of people, Nicole. It's powerful. Powerful.
I learned so much just from our podcast and our guests that we've had on, that you have to watch those if you have not. Something else. So you have 2 podcast channels right now. You have Purpose by Design and you have Right Now, which are 2 different. We like to co-share on those. You can see some of Right Now on purpose and vice versa, depending on who we do. But you go to events, and you've done it when we did John's event at Follow Law. You did this as well. And the feedback that, I don't know that if you heard the feedback at John's event, but I heard the feedback at John's event when you did the meditation section at John's. And you have several meditations that you have created that you use for mentoring and coaching. And you have decided that we're going to start a meditation podcast. So be looking for that. That's in the process. It's in the setup phase. So it won't take that long, but be looking for that on all of her social media to be launching out. But just talk a smidge about why are you putting it out there?
Thank you, Nicole, for asking me to share about that. Meditation, and I'm not talking about alming yourself into another universe, okay? Meditation is so important for the whole person, spirit, soul, and body. I consider myself a strong person of faith. I consider myself a strong person of prayer. When I was reintroduced to the whole concept of meditation, what they'll say is, be still. Well, we're not ever really still, because there's always something that's going on in our brain, especially if we're connected to the divine. There's things that are being given to us all the time, but we can be still and know. Yeah. It's not about silencing everything and just being like a drone that somebody turned the off switch on. It's about being still and knowing and getting peace and direction. And it's about tuning out the noise.
Right.
When I began a study of this, and then, I took classes, I learned, my faith walk skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't that I didn't hear God before, but it was that I could hear his whisper, like it was loud, even in trouble. Yeah. And you see, that's the thing, is people say, well, I'm going through this chaos or whatever, and I just don't know how to hear God. I don't know how to hear my own voice within. I don't know how to handle this situation. I don't know how to navigate through it. Meditation transformed my faith and my life. Yeah. And so I started offering them during my coaching sessions with people. I started offering meditations in my group sessions that I was doing. And then when I had the opportunity through different invites of different places that I would speak virtually or in person, I was being asked if I would lead a meditation. Right. And I saw that the presence of God was touching people's lives and bringing clarity and direction. Right. So again, in that quiet place of being still and knowing, being still and hearing, being still and knowing, because you're hearing, I heard podcast on meditation, because there are lots of places where you can go and get meditation, surely, and there's lots of good ones, but this one is going to be a good one. And so guess what? Our name is The Stillness of Mind. Right. And I have a tagline for it, and it's Meditation Station. So it's Meditation Station. We'll just flip it here. This stillness of mind with me. And so we will have they're not going to be hour-long. This is not going to be your hour-long podcast like this one. Right. This is going to be the 15-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute at the most meditations on health and wholeness, on achieving your goals, on being still and knowing. Whatever topic it is, on love, on grace, on gratitude, you will be able to find them at Meditation Station. Right. And I'm super excited about it. We already have about six or seven meditations ready to launch. It's just the process of creating Meditation Station and then putting them out there. So keep your eye out. once it is actually launched, I will be blasting it all over social media and asking you to come and check it out. And you'll be able to find it on YouTube, of course, but it is all audio. There might be some pictures that go along with it if it's on YouTube, but the point of it is that it is an audio meditation that it's where I am guiding you, and we go in the flow of it, in the stillness together. Be still and know. So thanks, Nicole. That is very dear to my heart. I appreciate you bringing it up.
Yeah, I agree. And it's so funny because I think okay, I'm going to pick on my husband. Meditations are very hard for my husband. Because we've done classes with John, we've done classes with Sonia, and they're like, okay, we're going to meditate. He doesn't know. But a lot of people, especially type A's, cannot just stop what they're doing.
Right.
And I mean, he's a pastor. He prays. He hears God. But he does it in the noise.
Mm.
And even I'm the same way. My brain's going 24/7 when I lay down and I've had to learn how to turn it off.
Yeah.
And I mean, some people are blessed with the voice to do these. Bob Proctor's one of them.
Oh, yes.
He has that voice that is just, you can listen to him talk all day. And I've got that calming voice. And you are one of those that you just do. And that was some of the feedback I got from John's event, was like, she's just so good at that. And she's just got that calming. I'm like, yeah, but she's learned it's a gift from God. It just is. Some people are gifted for it. Some people are not. I'm excited to get that new channel going. And I think that's going to be just another avenue of reach for you. Mm-hmm. So is there anything else that I've missed? I pulled up our little project board to see if there was anything. Oh, I know. We just launched the Coach Doctors blog.
Woohoo! Yay!
So you can go to coachdoctors.com. It's a very basic site. There's not a whole lot that you have to do on it. So there's literally a landing page and then the blog's attached to it. So it's not hard to find. We're highlighting the Coach Doctors book there that Dr. Pamela has. And we're so excited to launch this blog as an extension of the workbook. So you want to just throw a little promo there about the blog, that would be great.
Absolutely. This blog is just full of good stuff. Again, we have a lot of coaches that were part of this book, and they are the best. They're just the cream of the crop, right? And so we just had the visionary brainstorm idea by design to start a blog that these coaches, including Dr. Apostle Deborah and myself, that we will be sharing coaching tips. Now, that doesn't mean that it's just for coaches. Right. This is coaching tips as if we are coaching you. It's another way to receive mentorship and coaching from amazing coaches without having that immediate one-on-one. Now, you might have an amazing coach already, and if you don't, you need one, right? Or mentorship person. But there's also so many other ways to receive coaching and mentorship. And I have always loved blogs. Yeah. I read them, I write them, I love them. I'm a blogger. I'm a mommy blogger. You remember that from that one movie, Mommy Blogger? Right. But I'm also a coaching blogger. I'm a health and wellness blogger. I'm a Monday Wisdom blogger. Mm-hmm. I love to give access to people to some really awesome, good stuff. And so to me, there's so much gold nuggets in this with these authors in this book that let's take it out and let's have some wonderful blogs that are out there. And so it has begun, and it'll be the first week, the first March. Well, I'm going to restate that the 1st and the 15th of each month. This will be out, and you can grab a hold of it and just enjoy it so much and share it with other people. Let coach doctors coach you.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I love it. I was just taking the book a little further, and the coach's wisdom further, which I love. And like you said, you have your blogs, which come out Monday and Wednesdays, and those you can find on social media or go to purposewithpamela.com to find those as well. And like I said, Mondays and Wednesdays, and you can go back and read any of them. They're all there. So anything else that you can think of that you wanted to share?
No, make sure you go to the website though, because there's free gifts there for you. There's my morning routine and also my ebook, my free downloadable ebook on, guess what? Purpose is there. And so you will enjoy that. That's been a lot of fun. Different chapters that I have taken the time to write. Some are from other books. Some are just for the ebook. So go get it. It's your freebie. We'd love to be able to share all of this greatness with you. And thank you, Nicole, for all that you do and for being here and for having this brain idea to kind of just plow through what's happening here on Purpose. I guess the only other thing that I would like to just give a little plug for is we have launched our first annual Purpose Awards. Woo! And maybe, Nicole, you can put a picture up of that for us so people can see what that looks like. But we're going to come back again, and we're going to talk about the Purpose Awards. And we're going to highlight everybody that received the first annual Purpose Award. It's going to be awesome. But along with that, you're going to be hearing about it on social media. And if I come to your email inbox, you'll hear about it there. If I don't, sign up so that you can hear all of this greatness that comes through Purpose with Pamela. Because there's a lot of greatness, because there's a lot of great people involved. So I'm going to be interviewing and talking to these great people that received this award because they received them in multiple categories. So it's going to be awesome to highlight them, but we're also going to, you and I doing it here, but we're going to be highlighting them each individually. This week, you'll be able to see that. Plus, we're going to be doing some interviews with them. And another thing that we will talk about is the ambassadorship, because in 2023, we also have ambassadors, Purpose ambassadors. So we have these Purpose Awards, Purpose ambassadors, because if people are living their purpose and making a difference in the world, I want to know about it so that I can brag on what they're doing. So Nicole and I will be back a couple more times to brag on some ambassadors and to brag on some Purpose Award winners. I think that's all. Is there anything else, Nicole, you can think of?
I think that's all for this episode. Anyway, this has been so fun. And I kind of love that we're just highlighting you this month because, you know, it's your month anyway, to celebrate. So it's perfect. And I have enjoyed sharing your platform with you, my love, and celebrating you today. So I will let you close your show, dear.
Okay. Thank you. And I will tell you that February is connected to the Hebrew month of Adar, which is considered to be the happiest month of the year. So I'm happy to talk about happiness and gratitude and be highlighted in the month of happiness. Also, I heard from Dahlia, my Jewish sister, who said right now on February 5th evening into February 6th at sundown, it is a festival about planting in Israel. Now, planting is important because we're always sowing seeds, whether we realize it or not. So I want to leave you with this. What are you planting? What are you sowing? Also, trees. She was just talking to me about this. Trees defy gravity because gravity is wanting to push everything down. And the trees, just think about those palm trees, those oak trees, they just keep pushing up. So they're really a miracle. So in your planting, even into sowing into yourself, what are you growing? And are you willing to fulfill your purpose by design and defy the odds and be a miracle? That's what February is all about. And so that's what Nicole and I are sharing and talking about without even realizing that we were stepping into that flow, which is why I think God is so cool. So with that, you are here on purpose, with a purpose, like that tree, by design, not by default. So go on out there, sow those seeds, and be the salt and the light everywhere you go. We'll see you next time. Bye.